Good evening. My name is Christopher Karn, Student President of Students for H2O. Thank you so much for joining me this evening and continuing to unite together to water the seeds of change in South Sudan. Your impact tonight has been giving 10 years of clean drinking water to someone in need. This is life-altering. In the past year, our community has been able to fundraise enough money to build not one, but 2 wells, and continuing to educate our community about the global water crisis. I am so impressed by all the efforts our community has made and uniting together to make this change, and not only thinking globally, but acting locally. While we are sad that we are talking tonight over a screen and not face to face, we are so honored to have you all here and helping us unite for this change. I encourage students and adults alike to continue this passion in watering the seeds of change in South Sudan. Thank you.
When I was first kind of introduced to it, I was like shocked. I was like, what? The people don't have access to water? They can't just go turn on their sinks and get it? The book, A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park, I first read in 6th grade. This book kind of inspired me to get more involved within Students for H2O. When I'm fundraising, I've learned a lot about the good that people can do. If everyone just gives like a little bit, it goes a long way and we're able to make such an impact. I've also learned leadership skills and getting people involved in these fundraising type things, and to see all these different ages of students, all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade, want to get involved and want to be able to help people in South Sudan who don't have access to this clean drinking water. It was truly just inspiring. We had done so much, and it was so weird to be able to think that we were actually able to build a whole well in a whole nother country. I'm such a small person in this world, but just small people can do so much good and so much big things. To students who want to start getting involved in an organization, I say go for it. Use your creativity. You try, and every time you try and every time you do it, it gets better and better and grows and grows. I'm an artist, I'm a painter, so I've painted pictures about the global water crisis. I think we can use our individual skills and talents, and I feel like that's what the younger generation is starting to understand, and that we do need this change, we do need it to happen.
My favorite sustainable goal, development goal, is goal 6 for clean water and sanitation. Clean water is the basis for everything. It's the basis for good health. It's the basis for nutrition. People need clean water to be able to live every day. And if people have what they need, then the rest falls into place. There are so many parallels between our work as Rotarians and the work that Students for H2O is doing. Anyone I approach is so impressed with this student-led organization and so impressed with what the students have done. And whenever you see someone that age with that passion for something, it's hard not to be inspired. Adriana introduced me to Salva. He not only survived something that many people didn't, he turned that into a wonderful thing that has been the basis for so many people not just surviving but thriving. And he's been able to find the right partners throughout the world to keep the momentum going.
Director is helping too.
If we didn't learn anything from COVID, we should learn this. There is no longer an isolated problem in any country in the world. We're such a global society. You have to know what the big picture is, but there are also small things that you can do locally that are going to have ripple effects. And again, you never know what you're doing here that might be modeled or replicated somewhere else. If I could speak to one person that I helped, I would say, even though I don't know you, I love you. And if anything that we did helped to make your life better, then we're grateful for that. And we hope that you'll be able to do that for someone else one day.
In raising awareness of the global water crisis, I believe Waterfest really is a key event. Waterfest is an environmental and water festival that is geared to education to make a difference in not just conserving water in our own watershed, but to putting out that we need to assist where we can, how we can. In the last few years, we've had the privilege of having almost every school participate because of Students for H2O. When they had the contest to fundraise for the wells in South Sudan, it started just with pennies that they had, but collectively, they raised over $21,000. That is so powerful. So I'm sure all of them thought, a little bit is not going to go very far, but collectively, it's amazing what they did. Water's everything. And so if you can teach students who will someday be in charge of their own households, they take the message home to their families now that water is certainly worth it at all costs. We have to protect it, we have to value it, we have to respect it, we have to conserve it. It reminds us to be truly grateful for what we have, but also to ensure that these women and girls and families around the world have the same. I believe people need to look at Salva's story and see how they can write their own story, giving all that we can to ensure that these wells go in, but also the upkeep of the wells and the refurbishment of them. That all takes money. It's just caring what happens to your immediate environment, because it certainly is going to impact the world all over.
When you think about impact and how a project could truly take little seeds and bloom and grow, our Students for Water has truly done all of that. It ripples from elementary schools and recycling programs up into high schools where students are inventing projects that are science fairs that are going to make the world a better place. When you think of projects, you think of fundraising and how difficult sometimes that can be. It takes teams and it takes that connectedness to your why. Why do we do what we do? You got to communicate your why, and you've got to put the project together. Again, I have an amazing team. Adriana and her team truly do an amazing job of providing all of the pieces, and I'm just the one that helps make sure it comes together. When we received the photos back, and it has Martin County School District stamped in the concrete, that will forever be there, that our students will know and our community will know that they had an impact on changing the world. Water changes lives, and ultimately our lives change the world. Just know my heart sings knowing that has happened. And I know that the students that have been embedded in the work, they have taken that opportunity and they have grown their desire to change. May we never stop paying attention to what is needed. If we all could just envision that, if we could all have that heart to make a difference in the world, to say, I today wake up to make this world a better place, we too might have a little bit of Salva in our heart.
I took clean water for granted. I thought that was something that everybody had. And it made me realize just how blessed we are to have the basic necessities. The book, A Long Walk to Water, greatly inspired me and my students. Salva's story is really something that can reach anyone. It makes you shudder and maybe even cry when you hear all the things that he put up with, and he really did something beautiful. I think the biggest word in that story is perseverance, that we're all going to come up against struggles in life, but continue working towards our goal like he did, And so we went onto the Water for South Sudan website so that we could find a way to help. It can start very small, and it can grow to something huge and amazing. Our first year, it's a school of 1,100 kids, and our first year we only donated $800. As the years went on, we were able to do so much more, and every little bit helps. This year, we're going to be, because of COVID, we're not going to be doing a walkathon, but we're going to be doing a readathon, and we're going to be doing a t-shirt day, and we're going to see what we can do, because even though we know this year might not be as great as our last attempt, we know that every little bit helps. Fundraising for Water for South Sudan is important because it brings students' understanding of how the whole world is connected, and that we can make a difference for people nearby, but also for people far across the planet. The greatest thing I learned about Martin County is that people here are really generous, and also that middle school students can be generous. Really, if you look past their silly behavior or their impulsiveness, you can see that they're really kind and that they really care about things and that they can feel empathy, and that caused them to be generous.
Hello, my name is Victoria Deffenthaler. I'm a Martin County School Board member and former principal of Bessie Creek Elementary School in Palm City, Florida. I am honored to be a part of Drop by Drop. Adriana Mancini's leadership began in elementary school when, under the guidance of her mother and one of her teachers, the Team Green Recycling Club was established. From there, Adriana and her fellow classmates took this initiative to the next level by spearheading volunteerism, fundraising, and humanitarian efforts, including raising funds to build wells in developing countries to provide clean, safe drinking water to people who desperately needed it to survive. As a college student, Adriana founded Students for H2O to ensure that our community's efforts continued. I am proud of Adriana and all of our Martin County students who continue to lead through education, stewardship, and citizenship. And that brings us to today's Drop by Drop celebration. During a Long Walk to Water fundraising contest, 20 Martin County schools united last school year with the objective of raising $15,000 for Water for South Sudan. This nonprofit provides clean, safe drinking water and sanitation for the people of South Sudan. I'm excited to say, as a result of their collaborative efforts, $21,000 was raised and a well was drilled in May Jacques Dungour Primary School in South Sudan. On behalf of the Martin County School Board, I would like to thank the schools that participated in this life-changing initiative. Without their efforts, children across the world would not have access to clean, safe drinking water and quality education. Many thanks for their active participation and support of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Hi, my name is Salva, and I'm speaking now right in Africa, in Uganda actually. I just came from South Sudan. And I just want to say thank you for all the support that you've been doing to Water for South Sudan, to people of South Sudan. And I will just go back a little bit about my background when I was young and when I was in refugee camp, when I was in America, and then came back to South Sudan and do what I'm doing today. And I left my country when I was 11 years old during the civil war between North and South. And in that civil war was very brutal. And it happened around 10 a.m. while I was in school. That's where the war broke out. And then I had to walk many, many miles to get to the safety. But before that, my life was simple. I used to sleep in the thatched grass house. We didn't have running water, we didn't have electricity, and we didn't have much like what you have in the US. We didn't have a refrigerator. I didn't have mattress to sleep on. We used a reed. That's what my mom made. That's what we sleep on it, and then we cover ourselves if we are cold. And my job, mainly in the house, was herding the cows and goats and sheep. My sister collecting the water until I was taken to school. And at that time, I didn't even have enough clothes until I was going to school. That's where my dad bought me the clothes for school. And I didn't used to eat 3 meals a day. It was just a simple life. I didn't have toys. I didn't have all these things you guys have. The only toys we used to have is to model a clay and make cows and goats and all this by ourselves. These are the toys that we used to do. Until in the school around 10 a.m., that's where the war broke out. And I had to run right there from the school, which I didn't go back for many, many years. And that walk, we were just looking for the safety place where we would be safe. And after 2 weeks walking, thinking that I would be going home, unfortunately, it didn't happen. And the group that I was with, they abandoned me. And because I was too young, they think that I might cause problems. I might not walk well. Along the way, the other group came with my uncle was in, and then I was pleased to have someone that I depend on. And we walk. And along the way, so many happened. I wouldn't go in detail, really. A lot of things happened. Lost my uncle along the way. The horrible thing happened. Lost my nail toe, and till it took us 2 months until I get to a refugee camp in a place called Itang. In Itang, which is in Ethiopia, Itang, Ethiopia. In Itang, there are a lot of people there who fled from the war. And what they did is when you are young and you don't have relatives, they put you in refugee camp where the boys are. At that time was called orphanage camp. And then I ended up in that orphanage camp. And our number kept growing until I was elected to lead some of the boys. We stayed in refugee in that Itang again, and then we moved to a Peñido camp too in Ethiopia. And then we stayed there. What number of lost boys there were 17,000. And it happened to be in the group of 1,500. And then I was leading that group. And we stayed there 6 years together in that refugee camp, 2 refugee camps, Itang and Peñido in Ethiopia. And then again, Ethiopians getting their own civil war and were chased away. But before we were chased away in Ethiopia, the life in refugee camp is not a good life, really, to be honest with you. You felt like you are in refugee camp and you have no freedom. You will never be independent one day. And also with this agony that I had all the time, that I really want to go back home and be with my family and have a normal life. That thing was haunting me all the time. And we lost a lot of boys in the refugee camp too, because some were dying because of diarrhea, diseases, and all this, even though UN was taking care of us. And so many sickness coming in, a lot of guys died, boys died there too. After 6 years in the refugee camp, the Ethiopian getting their own civil war, and then we were chased away. And now we had to walk to a safety place. We walk another 2 months going to Ethiopia, to Kenya, to Kakuma refugee camp. But we came and settled down a little bit for a few months in a place called Pashala. That's where I think you guys went a long walk to water. You know, the Gilo happened. That's the time that Gilo was happening. And then we came and settled in Uganda, in Pashala, Sudan, before we proceed. Actually, in Pashala, we were chased away too by northern troop. And then we have to walk to Kenya. And when we arrived to Kenya, in Lokoshoka first, that's where we settled down in Lokoshoka before we moved to Kakuma. Then we spent something like 2 months, 1 month really in Lokoshoka. And then we moved to Kakuma refugee camp. In Kakuma, we were the first one to arrive there, and there was nothing completely, to be honest with you. Everyone was just like, and nothing there. And then the UN has to give us everything to settle down and do the best we could to take care of our life. But the life was the same, no changes. It's refugee camp. It's no better than other refugee camp. Yeah, we stay there again. I spent many years, 4 years there in the camp in Ethiopia. And the time we were there, we arrived to Kenya. We, in my group alone, we almost lost 500 boys with whatever happened, diseases and it's a hunger, wildlife, and all this happened until we stayed there 4 years until there was a settlement happening in U.S. for refugees, and then get lucky to be one of the people to be appointed to go to U.S. And going to U.S. was a mixed emotion news actually to us, because we didn't know anything about U.S. We know that the American is a great country, but in reality, we never have someone that had been there before to really give us what we could expect. American did their best they could. The Iowan people, they said, okay, they give us orientation, but orientation, we didn't really understand the whole thing, especially talking about the snow. We didn't understand what does snow mean. We think there's something foggy and then it goes away, it's not cold. The only thing that we caught in that orientation is 911, because we knew that we will get lost in America because we don't know anything there. And everyone was just like asking 911, if you get lost in America, what do you do? 911, 911. That's the only thing that we have to memorize all the time. Until we get to America. In America, it was a culture shock for me personally. Seeing the snow, the first time I was amazed just to look at this powder falling off in the sky, and it's so cold. I'm thinking that am I in really the same continent that we are in, or I'm in a different world really? But I have to do the best I could to adjust myself, to learn the language, and go to school, get the job, and all this kind of thing. And I was very lucky to get all the family that was supported me. You read them in The Long Walk to Water. Was so fortunate to have that, to give me that foundation and support to take care of my life. And was not easy. And I have to do all the best I could to educate myself and do the best I could. By that time, it happened to be like almost 19 years without knowing where my parents were, until I find out that my dad was still alive and he's sick with waterborne diseases in South Sudan, and was admitted in UN hospital clinic. And then I went there. When I went there, I find my dad was sick because of waterborne diseases. And I said, I need to do something really to help my father out in that situation. I didn't have anything. I didn't have money. I didn't know where to start. But I came back to US and then took a business class to making sure that I understand what I'm doing and all this. And then I talked with my friends, say I need to do this. And then my friend came in and they supported me. And then we formed Water for South Sudan. Water for Sudan at that time, and before it became Water for South Sudan. I went back and drilled the first well in my village. And it was so amazing. Just to drill the first well that with the people that were not expecting that there's water that they are sitting in it. And I remember one of the elder men saying that, gee, I've been sitting on the water all the time and I have to die because of thirst. Imagine that, because he didn't have a machine to go through the earth and get that clean water out. And I was just thinking that I was just providing clean water, that's it. But I didn't know the other thing that would trick. And immediately you see things are prospering around that well. Clinic is coming in, market is coming in, school is coming in, and you just see people really taking care of themselves. It was a beautiful thing. And then now we have to keep going and get lucky with all these people like you have been supporting me to keep going and drill more wells to these vulnerable people that who cannot provide clean water. All this keep going on. And now we have almost 500 wells serving 250,000 people in South Sudan. And it helped a lot with so many things. The children that have to die before age 5, they are not dying anymore. And you just see people going to school, and community is happy, doing the best they could to themselves. And we are teaching hygiene until the coronavirus came in. And when the coronavirus came in, of course, it helped so much, because the first medicine for coronavirus, making sure you keep yourself clean and drink enough water. With this community that have no gloves and no soap to wash themselves, has only one well that they have to touch the handle all the time and gather in it. they are vulnerable, really. And we have to come in with UNICEF and give them awareness. What would you do? Do the social distancing. Make sure you don't get close enough, that you don't touch the same thing. You have to wash your hand to do that. And then going to this small out clinic that has nothing in it, to making sure we are training people there and move on there, was very crucial. That's where another impact came in because of the well that we have. And it was just wonderful to see that thing. We were there, and now we are helping on the ground. And whatever we do in that is wonderful. And all these things happen because of the well that people supported it all around the world, including you. And I don't take a credit, because all you people that have input in this, especially your teachers too, who guide you on that book, and then parents that will get supported, and extended family that get supported in this project. I give them a credit. They are the one with the credit, not me, really. And thank you very much for all the support that you guys been doing to Water for South Sudan, to the people of South Sudan. And please, everything in this world, you do the best you could, never give up, and keep walking always. You will get there no matter what, how difficult things are. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Greetings from Palm City Elementary, Salva.
Hey, nice meeting you. Thank you. That's wonderful. Greeting from
so
Uganda.
Excited. I'm Robin Monty, the very, very proud principal, and today we have the honor of speaking with you, the incredible founder and president of Water for South Sudan. Our Wildcat students featured here, and those in the entire Martin County School District, were inspired by Miss Adriana Mancini, the founder and president of Students for H2O, and a Martin County School alumni. And as you know, Mr. Dude, collectively, Martin County students and the entire community were empowered to raise funds to support your organization. As a result of working together, that very special well was dug, providing fresh, clean water in a village in South Sudan. And our greatest hope is that our children find inspiration, knowledge, and the power to make a difference in the world of the lives after speaking with you today. And we know that we could ignite the inspiration and passion to make a significant difference in our world, drop by drop, idea by idea, and step by step, because together, boys and girls, and Salva, we are unstoppable. And so at this time, I would like to introduce the distinguished and motivating Mr. Christopher Carnes, student president of Student for H2O.
Thank you, Ms. Monty. So like she said, my name is Christopher Carnes. I'm the student president of Students for H2O. And just like all of you guys here, I started fundraising for Water for South Sudan and so many others and Team Green Martin back when I was only in 4th grade. So I urge you guys to keep up with it, because you are all truly amazing students. And we are here at Palm City Elementary School because you guys were our 3rd place fundraiser winners. And then also you guys were randomly picked. So you're very lucky out of everyone here in the Martin County School District to be this Q&A. So we're going to go ahead and start with our questions, and I'm going to pass it over here.
Good morning, Salva. My name is
Morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. So we have a special group of students here today, and it's my honor to be able to provide this opportunity for them to meet you and to ask some very important questions that have been on their heart. So I'm going to start today with Caitlin in 3rd grade and Lucy in 1st grade with their first question. Come on over here, girls. So here we have Caitlin and Lucy, and their question is, what are the steps to build a well, and how long does it take?
It's a long process, guy, to be honest with you. And you cannot predict the exact days that you spend there, because the country that we work in it has no infrastructure completely. It's not like over there in Florida when you have car that break down, you can call AAA and then they tow it and then they fix it right away. Or if you are hungry, you will just see the sign and then you go to McDonald's right at the window, you get the food. It's not like that. Running a very nice highway, it's not like that. Completely something unique. And what it does, if we get the supplies first and we go to a different country to purchase all the supplies that we need to go and build a well, it takes almost 1 month to complete that work. And after you assemble everything, and then you go to the village and do assessment with them. And when you're doing that, it depends with the breaking down. If everything goes well, it will take 3 days to complete it. If things break down, then might take more days to complete it. And this is how long does it take. Thank you.
Mr. Noah. So here's Chloe in 2nd grade and Noah in 5th grade. And their question
Hi, Chloe and Noah.
All right. So their question is, what obstacles have you encountered when building wells? And have the wells ever run out of water?
The obstacle, how to build the well, and is the well run out of water before? Let's start with obstacle first. Of course, there's too much obstacles. Imagine yourself, over there is too hot. It's like over 100 degrees all the time. Wow. And now you have to sit outside and work hard in this extreme heat. If you have headache, it's not easy to get the Tylenol or Advil, like go to a counter and pick up this stuff. It's not like that. You are just working somewhere in the wilderness that have nothing. And you need to be equipped to be able to have all these things. If you run out of this thing, it's a challenge. And it's very challenging for a country that have nothing complete to get something that you need to be able to do your work easily. For example, you need diesel or gasoline to carry it on your truck because no gas station on the long way that you can just stop and then pump your gasoline. It's not like that. And if you run out of something, it makes it difficult and it's always a challenge. But to the question of have we ever have a dry well? No. Number one, you need to make sure you hit a right water table. We call it aquifer here. And also too, we drill in the dry season when the water table is low down. And also the good news about that, we have refillable aquifers because in the rainy season, those aquifers get a fill again, finish with more water and make it really unique. And we never have that dry well. Thank you for your beautiful questions.
All right, next up we have Miss Hallie, who is a 4th grade teacher here at Palm City Elementary with some questions as well. Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. Hello there. We are so happy to see you. All the way.
How are you? Happy to see you. Thank you.
Technology is just amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So the first question is from Mia, a 5th grader here at Palm City Elementary, and she is a very active member in our Green School initiatives here. And Mia's question is, what is the greatest impact water for South Sudan has had on your country?
The great impact is start right from there, from you guys, because you're the one making a great impact already. All these things will not be happen. Those wells will not be drilled without people like you supporting such a project to happen. And the great impact in South Sudan is huge, to be honest with you. With this, putting a well there, because water is a foundation of everything in life. It's a foundation for stability, it's a foundation for thriving, and everything. Long ago, the girls were not allowed to go to school. And now, having a well in that village, the school come in, and clinic come in, market come in, and other things happen. And you see everyone is trying to do the best they can in their life to improve their life and do better in their life. And that's a great impact. Another impact, long ago they used to move like nomadic because if there's no water, they have to move with their livestock and go somewhere where they can get water and come back. And long ago too, many children before age 5, they couldn't make it because of waterborne diseases. And now such well in the village is giving a great opportunity to everyone, which is wonderful just to see young children like you guys standing out in your comfort zone and reach to the world that you never dream about, or the world that you never been in it, and work hard to be able to support these innocent people that cannot support themselves. It touched my heart so much. Look at this world. It become one people, one village, one house even. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful question, Mia. Truthfully, when we all come together, big things can happen. As you were saying, even life-changing things.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a question from David, a 4th grader here. David, come on up. And come on up here. And say hello. Give a wave. Hi there.
Hi, David.
Some people around the world take water for granted. What is your take on this?
Sometimes some people are blessed to be born in that close to the water. And some people work harder to make sure they have infrastructure that they put into making sure they have water available in their bathroom, in their kitchen, and all this. And then later on, the people that were born into it will never realize that there are people that really, really work hard to pipe that water into that house and treat that water to making sure that it's healthy for everyone. Sometimes they might take it for granted. They don't realize that it's really important, especially in our life. And you just see people turning on the tap, and you just brush for some minutes or go to the shower, and you just sit there for almost an hour, wasting gallon of water and all those kind of things. You take it for granted because you really don't understand it well. The life that we have is because of the water we have and the air that we breathe in it. Unfortunately, in other part of the world, they are not that lucky to have such opportunity. And young children like you in my country here or here in Africa, in other part of the world, they have to work hard to carry just a gallon of water to bring it home for people to use it, for watching, for cooking, for drinking, and forget about the bathing sometime. They cannot even take a water to bathe for some days because they don't have that. And I encourage young people like you, please never take water for granted. Water is our life. And in this world, if you don't treat our fresh water, then we will be in problem, even with those people that who are taking water for granted. Because the world is getting shrinking, our population is growing, and our fresh water is only 2% fresh water, and the rest is all sitting in their eyes and salty water. We should pay attention to that. Water is very important, and we don't want to waste their resource, our precious resource. Thank you.
All right. So here's Mr. Colton, and here's Emmeline in 1st grade.
Hi, Emmeline and Colin. Okay.
Yeah. So their question is, how many people does it take to build a well, and what materials do you need to build it?
It takes the entire team, almost 12 to 15 people. They are the crew. They are traveling for almost 6 months, never coming back. In this wilderness, the place that has no road, has nothing complete, and they need to be well equipped with everything. The material that we use a hand pump, but it doesn't look like that American hand pump. The other thing that you see get installed in some of the houses or in the park are not like that. They are big duty hand pump. And that hand pump itself is metallic. And then we put the casing, the PVC, the plastic casing, that's what we put in. And then we have a cylinder, a pump that we connect with a pipe, and the rod that is connected to the handle, and then you just pump it. But in that hole, we have to put a lot of gravels, like a big sand, around the screen that we put into making sure the water is filtered. And when it gets to that casing, it becomes clean, pure, fresh water. And that's what they pump it out. And those are the material that we put. And of course, we put the cement, concrete with cement to making sure we channel that dirty water far away. And those are the material that we use. Thank you.
Next, we have Clara in 5th grade. Miss Clara. Come on up, Miss Clara. How are you today? Okay.
Hi, Clara.
Say hi to Salva. Hello.
Hi.
All right. So Clara's question is, what problems still exist and how can we help find a solution?
A lot of problems are still existing in South Sudan. South Sudan is a 7 years old baby now country. This is how I call it. And when you are young, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to be supported in order to get to the level that you want. And that's the challenges we have so far. They still have a struggle with democracy. And let's say we don't have, let's say the internet, they don't have internet in those schools and teachers have no access. A lot of schools have no latrine, a bathroom. Imagine yourself going to a school and you don't have a bathroom there and you don't have running water there, you don't have lunch there. How would you feel? You will be miserable. Those things are still lacking there. We still have some classes under the tree where they have shade to sit there. And we still have some classes still using the dirt floor to write A, B, C, D because they don't have pencil or pen or papers to write on it. And there's a lot of challenges still going on in those things. And hygiene become a difficult thing too. Some students go to school with bare feet because they don't have shoes. Some students have only one clothes they have to wear every day, all the time. Some of the students even go, when they come to school, when they go home, they have to take it off and go without clothes because they don't want to ruin their best clothes for a school. And a lot of challenges. I can go on and on and on, everything. Some students don't eat 3 meals a day. Like you guys, you eat 3 meals a day plus a snack. Imagine yourself, if you eat 1 meal a day, I think it would be a big, like your world is falling apart, correct or not?
Oh, yeah.
And some kids have no choice what their parents provide to them. If they give them something, that's it. They appreciate whatever they can get without being picky and say, I don't want to eat this day. And I can go on and on and on. There are a lot of challenges to be handled with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Salva. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Clara, for such a profound question.
So this is Mia, and I feel like you kind of answered this in your last question, but if you could elaborate on a little bit more. Her question is, what feelings do you experience as the leader of Water for South Sudan?
What feeling do I experience as a leader of Water for South Sudan? To be honest with you, I don't feel anything. I don't feel special because what I'm doing, I don't take a credit for myself. It's for all of you, those who contributed all over the world to make this one happen, and we all take a credit for it. And I don't feel something special in me completely. I just feel like I'm doing the best I could as a citizen of the world to making sure connecting these people and making sure these people that who don't have opportunity get a little something for them to start their life on it. And I give a credit to all the people that were supporting me, like the students and the parents and teachers and everyone that donate money to Water for South Sudan. And I don't feel special completely. The credit is you guys who supported me. Thank you.
Awesome. So this is Avery in 2nd grade, and her question is, how does Water for South Sudan help students and their education?
Water for South Sudan help the student in their education a lot. I mentioned it before. If you go to school and you don't have running water, in extreme heat, it's not the room that you just go in there and then have air conditioned. No, it's not like that. It's over 100 degrees all the time. And the distance that you walk from home to school under the extreme heat, you need to drink a lot of water. And that help you a lot. Without drinking enough water, you will get dehydrated easily. And this water that we put in those schools or in the village, that's the water that they use even to build that classroom. to make brick out of it to build a room. And it helped a lot. And it make the community stable to stay in one place for their community, for their children now to be able to go to school. Before such a thing were not there, which means the well that we put it transformed the entire community completely. And it helped the student to really have opportunity to get educated. And later on, someday when they become engineer or other things, they can do better than what we are doing now. And they might even have a plumbing and pipe the water to the people's house. And it helped a lot. Thank you. Good question.
So this is Grayson, and he's in 4th grade, and his question is,
Grayson.
How do you decide where to build a well?
That's a great question. How do I decide where to build a well? That's a genius one. I don't decide, or we don't decide as Water for South Sudan. The entire community decide because the demand is so high. And when we go to the county or to the area that has so many villages, maybe they have like 20 villages right there, and we have only 5 wells. Then we call the chief of the villages, and then we tell them, hey guys, you are 20 villages now, and we have only 5 wells. And we cannot decide who get what and who will wait. You guys need to decide by themselves. And making sure after that you tell us what village get the well. And then we back off from that, and then they do their own thing. Sometimes they do draw. And then they come to us, they say, Mr. X and X, they get the well. And then we go to the village to see. And sometimes they want it to be put in the center of the village. And then if the water is not there, we say, well, the water is not there, it's this, and until we all agree with them. These are the process that we take to make sure that where we put the well in the village. Thank you, good question. And we don't choose it.
That's really interesting to know. I didn't know that it's the village up to where the well goes. So next, our very last question, I have Max and Addison, if you guys can come up here. Okay, so this is Addison in 3rd grade, and then Max in 1st grade.
Hi, Addison.
How is water filtered with or without a well?
After we drill the well, and when we have 2 things that we install in it. One part is a screen that does the filtration. And the other part is a plain casing that has been put in the dry land that has no water in it. And when we get the water, then we put this filter in, and then we put a big sand gravel around that screen. And that's where the water just go through and get filtered by sand and gravel, and then again by a screen, and then the pure clean water just get sit in this PVC casing. This is how we do it. And after that, we test it to making sure that there's no minerals, E. coli, or bad thing in that water, because we don't want to poison the community. But the good news in that area, South Sudan is still a fresh land. They haven't dumped all these residues in it, and pouring thing is still a fresh land completely, has nothing been poisoned under the ground yet. But we still need to making sure that we test the water to making sure it's healthy for people. These are the processes that are involved in it. And also too, we train some people in the village to make sure they maintain their well when it breaks. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us today and doing this Q&A session and helping us with Water for South Sudan. And it really means a lot. And thank you guys for helping us out, ask questions today.
Sure, I just want to say something too before I end it up. Hey guys, you are amazing people, especially Adriana and her student for H2O group, and especially of course, your wonderful teachers that will connect all this world. Elizabeth and Crystal, what amazing work. And of course of you, Crystal, all the work that you've been doing. That's really, really wonderful. Look at this connection of this world that we have together, changing the world together. Because in this world, working together, we will make a difference. Without working together, we will not get anywhere. And I really give a great thank you entire Florida city for all this supporting this, and especially the event that we are going to do in May 22. Thank you so much. You touch my heart, and you are my special people in my heart. Thank you very much.
Salva,
Thank you.
This has just been such a huge, wonderful experience. And Adriana, thank you so much for bringing us all together today. We have one more thing. We made a cute little banner, and I want the kids all to be able to come together and thank you collectively. Would you mind if we did that real quick?
No problem.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
While they're grabbing that, Mr. Dude, I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude for you being a part of our event and Q&A. As someone who's been passionate about raising awareness and funds for the global water crisis since I was in 4th grade, I'm just profoundly grateful for everything that you do to be a transformational leader in bringing attention to this global issue.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for your encouragement, for your hard work, for your commitment, for seeing a different world than just seeing one world. Thank you so much. That's really, really amazing thing for what you're doing with your group.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Thank you, guys. We've got an amazing group. You touched my heart a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. Wish you all the best.
Thank you for joining us today and for being a valued member of Water for South Sudan's global community. My name is Alyssa Rowley, and I'm the Development and Communications Coordinator for Water for South Sudan in Rochester, New York. I'd first like to thank you, the Martin County, Florida community, Martin County School District, the City of Stuart, Students for H2O, and the Mancini family. Our work is powered by individuals all over the world just like you. People who believe that access to clean water is a human right, and that clean water isn't just a lifesaver, it's a game changer. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us just how vital our work is. Countless families are trying to protect themselves from the spread of disease right this very minute without access to clean water. Imagine, you can't wash your hands with clean water. Your parent becomes deathly ill from a waterborne disease. Your sister walks nearly 4 miles each day carrying up to 80 pounds of water. Your daughter can't attend school because gathering water consumes her life. Your friend gives birth without access to clean water. Families in South Sudan don't have to imagine. This is their reality. Access to clean water means healthier families. It means girls can go to school and families have food to eat. Clean water means everything. You have the power to give South Sudanese families an opportunity to improve their lives. Whether you make a one-time donation or become a monthly donor, you can help clean, safe water flow for the people who need it most. Suggested one-time donations include $30, which provides hygiene supplies, including soap, for one village hygiene training. $55 covers the cost of a hand pump for one new well. $110 provides a family of 4 with access to clean water for many years to come. And $500 purchases all of the supplies needed to rehabilitate an older well. If you're interested in sustaining our work by becoming a monthly donor, consider $10 per month, which ensures 59 people have daily access to clean water. $30 per month guarantees 176 people regular access to clean water, or $60 per month, which purchases 2 water-safe water test kits each month. To make a donation today, visit waterforsouthsudan.org/event-donation-page. There are so many other ways to help besides donating. You can tell people about Salva's story or share the book A Long Walk to Water by Linda Sue Park. Talk to people about the UN's Sustainable Development Goals and the global water crisis. Pay attention to your own water usage. and remember that you have the power to change lives. Thank you for joining us today and for supporting Water for South Sudan and Students for H2O. You are watering the seeds of change in South Sudan.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tyler Daniels, Student Vice President for Students for H2O. Thank you for attending Drop by Drop and supporting this life-changing initiative. I hope you all enjoyed the event. Before we conclude, on behalf of Students for H2O, I want to recognize those who played a part in the success of Drop by Drop. To begin with, thank you, Salva, for sharing your story with us today and continuously inspiring us on how we can become global citizens. The work that you continue to do for students in these villages is truly admirable. We are also grateful for the support of Water for South Sudan, Chris Coffey of On Cue Content, the Martin County School District, our sponsors, board of directors, and everyone who helped make this event possible. Additionally, congratulations to our awardees on your well-deserved achievement. Although today's event is over, you can learn more about Students for H2O and our mission on our website and social media platforms. It's been a pleasure having you all here today and continue to strive for the world we want. Have a great night.